Hi there, my name is Rodney Henderson. I'm a realtor at the Ollin Group here in Victoria. I just wanted to take a few minutes to actually talk about my journey with Shawn Carpenter and the Ollin Group and a little bit about my transformation. If I were to describe myself before, I would say I've definitely known success in my life. I was an elite cyclist competing internationally for Canada. National champion. I've won multiple MLS awards as a top producing agent here in Victoria. With all of this, I still felt there was something missing, and there was a gap between what I thought of myself and my abilities and what my friends and family thought about my abilities. I was introduced to Shawn through a professional network that I work with, and he'd been doing some work with a few of the members, and were achieving great results, and they had nothing but great things to say about him. After our first meeting, I knew basically two things. One, that Shawn could help me find out what I was missing. He could help me close the gap. And two was that it wasn't going to be easy, and I was going to have to work hard for it. But really, what good comes without hard work? I guess really what were some of my biggest revelations or some of the biggest tools that I took from Shawn? There's an exercise where we discuss limiting beliefs, and really, you don't do a lot of introspective thought. And when I did, I started looking at what my beliefs really were and how they impacted my day-to-day life and how they prevented me from getting to the next level. It was profound. So once I was able to identify the limiting beliefs, it's actually quite easy to trace them back to their origins. And when you actually are sitting there looking at this belief that you've carried for, I don't know how long, mine was probably over a decade, at least my most profound one. When you're sitting there looking at it right in front of you, everything's displayed, you start to realize how ridiculous it was and how easy it is to say, that's absolutely not true, and move on and progress. Another thing that I really worked on and I found really powerful was presence. It's easy to constantly be thinking about what you're going to do next when you're talking to somebody or what you're going to say next, that you actually forget to engage and be present for the person that you're talking to. And believe it or not, people notice that. We don't necessarily think about it when we're doing it, but the impact that we have and the effect, whether they recognize it or not, is huge. Another thing is just, it also kind of stems off of presence as well, was for me creating a constant state of awareness. Creating a state where, I'm aware of feelings, I'm aware of a reaction that I have to something, and rather than just reacting to it, I feel it, I accept it, and I'm able to deal with it appropriately. I find that I'm definitely more level-headed and make better decisions. Before this, I would get trapped in this emotional cycle. I'd react to something, I would get angry. Then I'd be angry for long enough that I would start to feel guilty for being angry. Then, it was just this vicious circle that I could never get out of. And it's far from a productive state. So those were some fantastic revelations that I had with Shawn. But really, all of that, those are just great tools. When I look around and I think of people, I think most people are acting and doing what they do because it's what they believe they're supposed to do. It's what their friends do. It's what they've learned from their parents. It's what they've watched their parents do growing up. And I don't think a lot of people really understand why and what they're doing. Everyone knows what they're doing, but I don't think they really understand why. So what I uncovered with Shawn was far more powerful than any tool or trick that I've discussed here before. But I found my why. I know what I was doing. I was doing it all the time. I almost felt like I was on this hamster wheel, constantly spinning and spinning and spinning, trying to get somewhere else, yet you can never get out of your wheel. And my why was the reason I do everything, and I didn't realize why I did everything. My why gave me a code to base my decisions off of, so that I'm making consistent decisions that are in line with my thoughts and my feelings and my values. It was a way to break out of the hamster wheel and go beyond and realize more of my full potential. My why is the reason that I don't stop on the verge of success when it becomes difficult to achieve. You push through the difficulties because you know why you're doing it. All in all, I'm quite grateful to have had the opportunity to work with Shawn, and through his coaching, I've had some profound insights and achieved substantial growth in my business and my personal relationships. I definitely recommend working with Shawn if you have the opportunity, and I can tell you from personally, I am going to continue working with Shawn, and I'm recommending Shawn to many of my good friends who have already started working with him. So if you do choose to work with him, good luck, and I think you're going to be happy.